Hello everyone, this is Cari for Redesign with Prima. Today I have this beautiful Easter decor project to share with you. It is a wooden shadow box and I am featuring the Meadow Whispers Decor Mold by Redesign in this project. It has vintage style rabbits and eggs and pretty flowers, and I just adore this mold. I absolutely love it. There's so much to it that I think you'll love it too. So this is the little wooden box I thrifted, but I think you could easily find something similar in a craft store or a thrift store. But this is just to kind of give you an idea of what you can do with the molds and some of our decoupage paper. So I'm going to go ahead and add clear gesso to this box. Now, clear gesso is a primer. It's clear, so that wood will all show through. And I know it seems strange to do that to a wood box that you're just going to leave wooden, but I do have my reasons for it. It's a beautiful primer that keeps some of that maybe old varnish from coming through on some of your art mediums when you're adding other things. And it also helps me clean up if I have a little oopsie with some paints or waxes and things like that. So there is a good reason for it. Clear gesso is perfect if you want to keep the color or aesthetic of a project you're working on without having to change a color. It works really well. Now I'm going to use a piece of book paper to sort of make a template for the size of decoupage fiber that I need to put inside this box. So I simply fold the paper, cut along the lines, and then I have an approximation of how big I need to trim my decoupage paper I'm going to use on the back. This is called Serenity in Blue decoupage fiber, so it comes with a larger piece and a smaller piece in one pack. And I wanted to cut out that center because that's what I wanted to use inside my shadow box. And here I'm just using a very sharp craft knife around that book paper to cut out the area that I want to put in the shadow box. I simply love the part of this paper here, and it looks so great in that shadow box, and it fits perfectly. Now I'm just kind of adding a little bit of water to the inside because I am going to add our vintage lace chalk paste. Now the water helps move the chalk paste around a little bit. The chalk paste is permanent when it's dry, so it will also help with any bleed through. Now with that clear gesso coat on there, it will prevent this part from getting brown or any of those stains coming through. So that was another important part. And the chalk paste is in a lighter color because I want the colors of the decoupage paper to come to life. So the white background definitely helps your colors pop and makes it more vibrant. Now I'm adding soft glass gel to the surface once it was dry to adhere the decoupage fiber, and it works perfectly fine. And even though the background is still wet, it's fine to go ahead and add that soft glass gel right over the top as well and let the whole thing dry all together. I'm using plastic wrap just to smooth out any wrinkles or bumps. And here's another great example of having that clear gesso on there. If a little bit of that chalk paste got on the wood, it comes right off with a baby wipe. So it kind of created a barrier between the wood and the paint. So that was actually really nice. So if you're not exactly neat, that really helps. And here I'm just sealing it with a soft glass gel like I mentioned. And I do wet my brush if the gel's a little bit thick. You can certainly use water with the gel because it is a water-based product. Now here I'm adding the sepia Decor Wax from our Finnebear collection with a wax brush. This is just going to make the wood a little bit more warm and even toned because some of the wood areas, it was lighter, it was darker, it's old, it's aged. So that Decor Wax actually helped make that wood all look cohesive and it made it look richer. Now to blend in the gaps like where the paper meets the wood, I'm taking some of that vintage gold Decor Wax and just adding it in with my brush just to blend where the paper ends and the wood begins. So it adds a little bit of shimmer and charm, but it also hides those edges. So if your edges of your paper aren't perfect, the wax will help blend that in to the wood and make it look really, really elegant. I decided to go ahead with my finger and add it to all of the edges of the box as well. Now with the sepia decor wax on there, this vintage gold wax went on beautifully. And if I add too much, I can actually wipe a little bit back because there's already a wax barrier there, so to speak. And the two waxes sort of blend as well. So it's not so harsh and it looks really nicely done when it's all finished. And there it is. Okay, now that our box is all prepared, I'm going to move on to the castings. So these castings I did with resin and white resin, and I have sort of a hard time seeing all the little details in these castings because they're very, very intricate. So what I did is I took some of our burnt sienna liquid acrylic and a little bit of water. You can mist the castings and mix water on your brush. And I just went into all of the little crevices and details with that burnt sienna, and it actually brought it all to life. Now, once I go to adding color, I can actually see where I need to add the color. I hope that makes sense. So I did this actually the night before, let them dry overnight before I started adding all of the detailed colors. But you just want to add it on as much as possible, mist it again, and then use a baby wipe and dab away the excess. And a tiny bit of this paint really, really goes a long way. It's very impressive. Just a little drop is all you need. So see, I can see all the details, and you just want to get rid of like all the blotchy areas. You could even use your brush to move some of that around if there's some in the crevices that are a little bit too dark. But I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a really hard time seeing every little aspect of these castings. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of highlighted all of that so I knew where to color in with my colors. I hope that makes sense. Now I ended up doing this to all three bunny castings from the Decor Mold, but I only ended up using two because I felt like once I put the third one in there, it was just a little bit too much. And I'll save the little one, the little girl, for another project, certainly. But I did only end up using two. And here they are. I think that they look perfect, and I let them dry and then started to color. Okay, now I'm using the Prussian Blue liquid acrylic from the Finnebear collection, and I'm misting it with water. Now a tiny drop is all you need. I actually ended up putting way too much paint in that bowl, and it was just a little tiny drop, so it really goes a very long way. And now I'm just going in with my brush and moving that paint around. Now I want these to be really pastel, not too vibrant, but you can certainly make them vibrant if you like. It's just taking the paint and going direct onto the castings without any water misted on or any water in your brush. But I wanted them to have sort of a watercolored vintage look. That's what I was going for. And I love that I put the burnt sienna on first because that already makes the colors that I'm going to add now look a little bit more vintage and aged. So that was also another bonus. And I can see perfectly now where all of the little areas are where I need to add the colors. And I just have fun with this part. I just go in and add that blue color wherever I want. Okay, next I'm going in with Nude. So nude is sort of a pink color. It's made for skin tones and that sort of thing, but it's perfect for the bunny ears and the noses and any other little areas you want to add it to. It's really a very pretty soft pink color, and this color happens to be in the decoupage paper as well, so it matched perfectly. I just go in with the ears and their little hands and some where their like little shoes are and things like that. Anywhere I wanted to add a little bit of pink. I even added it to the bows on their necks. There's like cute little bows, so that was fun too. And next I'm adding avocado green liquid acrylic. So this just makes it more springy. It matches perfectly to the decoupage paper as well. because on the bottom of the castings, there is a little bit of grass and ground attached like around their feet. So I wanted to emphasize that, but also bring that green color into some of their clothing and other details as well. It's a really beautiful green color. I love it. And again, mixing it with water and just watercoloring it right onto the castings. The one thing I love about using these as watercolors is that the painting does not have to be perfect. I'm certainly not perfect, and I want to have fun when I'm adding colors and things like this. So this kind of takes away a lot of that anxiety of having to be perfect. Now I'm taking some of that burnt sienna directly on the brush without water and just going into their eyes a little bit. I feel like they just needed to be a little bit more in depth, and it worked out perfectly. Now I'm going in with vintage gold Decor Wax just to add a little bit of gilding to match the wax that I had added to the Shadowbox. Makes them look a little bit more elegant, and it kind of makes them softer as well. And you know, in case you had any oopsies, sometimes the Decor Wax will help hide any of that too with any of the colors. So that also is nice. So it's very forgiving. This is really kind of nice because you don't have to worry too much about, you know, anything not looking right. If you have to fix something, the Decor Wax goes over it and just sort of hides any little blemishes. Let me know what other art mediums you would be interested in seeing me try out. I do want to do some of our watercolor palettes on the castings, and I think that would be super fun for everyone to try as well. But let me know in the comments what you think, and I will be happy to do that for you. Now here are some of the eggs from the mold, and all I did was cover them with that vintage gold Decor Wax. That is it. So you can see the coverage is beautiful. It's very soft gold, and it matches everything that we've added so far. Now I'm going to go ahead and use some hot glue to glue my castings into the Shadowbox. Now when adding them to the Shadowbox too, I also wanted to add them at an angle. I thought they added more interest positioned this way rather than just straight ahead. It was kind of a fun decision. I played around with it a little bit before I recorded just to see how they would look, and I really thought that this would be kind of a cool effect. So you want to make sure that you add a nice even layer, and I just sort of hold the castings there in place until the glue sets. Now here they are, all ready to go. I just love how they look. And do you see what I mean by not adding the third little bunny? There just wasn't enough room. So maybe word to the wise, you could get a wider box to add all three instead of what I did. Now I'm just cutting up some fake greenery. This is these little ferns I had laying around. You can use moss if you want to. I've just never really enjoyed working with like the dried moss. I feel like it makes a mess and it's really hard to glue it down. But the choice is yours, of course. You can choose any greenery that you wish. I just love the ferns. I thought that they looked really sweet. And I'm just adding them in pieces with my hot glue gun. Now here I just cut off little sprigs of the fern and just filled in little gaps where it just needed to be filled in just a little bit more, just little tiny spaces and areas. And I'm getting ready to also glue my little eggs in place. So I just sort of stage them where I want them and decide. I add a little bit of hot glue to the back of the eggs as well, and then put them around the bunnies, some behind, some in the front. You know, you can choose wherever you want them to be, but they will look just so sweet. They're nestled into the ferns, I think. Well, I love how it looked, but you can certainly do something different. You can put it on the outside of the Shadowbox or at the top, but to be honest, the top, I have another little thing I added. So this is our brand new Eternal Spring Easter decor mold that we also released. And it says Joyful Easter there up in the top corner. So I cast this with some of the casting mix and decided to cover them with that vintage gold decor wax. So again, the whole look is cohesive. And I decided I wanted this little phrase to be at the top of my shadow box. And I think it looks absolutely so sweet. So once they're completely covered with the decor wax, I go ahead and glue them to the top with some super glue. Oh, I just love how this looks. I sort of eyeballed it into the center, but I just thought that added just such a little bit of class and character. And then a little bit of velvet ribbon at the top was all it needed just to finish it off. I did it in a dark evergreen color and it's finished. And I just absolutely adore how this came out. Please let me know if you have any questions about what I made today or what I used. And let me know what you think about the coloring effect. And if you try it, I would love to know. It was really easy, really fun, and the whole project came together beautifully. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.